How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Gotcha Plus Living. We're still going through a rebrand and trying to figure it out. And this is going to be a portion of the living aspect of or the plus. Today, I'm going to be reviewing my top five favorite Lego themes of all time. For this list, I'm going to be excluding things like DC, superheroes, Marvel, Star Wars, City, things like that, because just those are such big themes that sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. Like Star Wars, is right now not in a hot spot, but in a couple years past, it was great. So I'm gonna be talking about themes that just that I grew up with or I really thought were cool, and just gonna talk about a little bit. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Lego Adventures. Is what I think it's under, Lego Adventures, and it was like different themes. It was like their first version of Indiana Jones, and here's Johnny Thunder, I think his name is. It was this character's name, and it was just these cool sets. It was cool sets of like Indiana Jones type themed at first, but then they started branching off into like different parts of the world and whatnot, and it started to become really cool. And it was just different, like just different type sets, different little adventure pieces, and it was just really cool. I actually did own a couple of these, not of these like bigger, like cooler ones like that, but I remember there was like a ship, and I remember I had a Lord Sinister against Giant Thunder on like a helicopter chase, and this one was really cool. I thought it was cool. It was unique. It was very just neat, and I remember it's like earlier iterations was very obviously bare bones, right? 1999, 1998 Lego, not big sets, but they were still cool. Like there was, I think the one I had was, it was just like, it was like a coffin, the skeleton would open, and he had like jewels. But it was just so cool, and obviously today's Lego is way more incredible than that. But it was just super cool to think that that's how Lego started. And as a kid, I really enjoyed those sets. So coming in at number 4 is going to be Dino Attack, a kind of one and done theme Lego throughout. Lego really said, hey, y'all like Jurassic Park? Some of you guys grew up with Dino Crisis. How would you like to have a theme where you fight dinosaurs? And that is literally this whole theme. Like right here, here's a evil T-Rex against a helicopter. They only had like 5 sets. It was like a tank against another T-Rex, little raptors, thingamajigs. The raptors had a very interesting build though. They were obviously a new mold, and I don't think they've ever used that again, or I don't even know if mold's the right term. But like different little things. Like I own this one. This was the staple set. It was really cool. The characters, the minifigs, they look super grunge. Their dual painting was cool. All the rope and the tactical equipment and whatnot. It was super neat, super cool. Simple, one and done Lego did. They never came back to this. I kind of wish they would have done something more with it, but I get it. It probably didn't sell too well. Number 3 is also a similar story. It's going to be Mars Mission. Now, Mars Mission in space, Lego has done a lot. They did Space Patrol. They did Life on Mars before this, where like they had, I think, actual alien figures, kind of, I think. And then they've tried, but they've never been able to stick a landing. And I think Mars Mission had a similar story like Dino Attack, where they only had where they only had like a one and done type thing. There wasn't much they added, but these sets too, they were just super cool. The aliens were just a simple green mold thing, but it was just super like colorful. It was dope. It looked super cool. I think this came out around the time like Tron Legacy and all that was being announced, and like neon and black was really popular. So like this was really cool, and so it was just really cool sets, really creative little battle type sets. You could capture the aliens, and so the aliens were fighting back, nothing crazy, simple figures. The aliens themselves were like, looking at them now, obviously you're kind of like, oh, what the heck is that? But then they did have like, their commanders and whatnot, and it was super cool. It was a super cool line. I really enjoyed it. As a kid, it brought me a lot of fun. As a kid, I was never really much of a collector, and I think as kids many of us weren't collectors, right? But I loved replayability with Legos, which sounds silly, but sometimes there were some sets where you're just like, I don't know what to do with this after I built it. But like Mars Attack, Dino Attack, the Oriental, they were super cool. They were super to get you creative and pushing and to do more stuff, and it was super cool. And coming in at number 2 is something very similar that I think is what actually got me into Lego besides Star Wars was Alpha Team. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find really good pictures of this, but Alpha Team was so cool. It was like the secret agents, they were doing all this cool stuff, and they were fighting a really cool enemy, which was Lord Ogel, right? And Lord Ogel, let's see if I can't find a picture of him. Oh, well, I mean, here he is. Dude with red eye had a hook, and this version he didn't, but I think in like the second wave he ended up having like a red hook. Super cool. The Alpha Team, they were super dope. They it was just cool sets, and I think that the series that I got into, they had like the underwater theme, which is what I think we were looking at before my thing bugged out. Yeah, the underwater theme. I own this exact set. It was super cool. It was cool. The skeletons were cool. I loved this was like before build your army sets were coming out, right? So you like this was the closest thing to trying to build an army, was getting a bunch of these skeletons from different sets, and you actually had an army to fight the agents, as with Ogel. And it was just super cool. It was a super cool set, super cool series. Their second phase right here. Their second phase ended up being like this Arctic thing, and then it just kind of died, unfortunately. And I get it, probably like look at that. Come on, a skeleton with commander outfit. It's fire. It's dope. It's great. But unfortunately, I'm sure it just probably didn't sell too well. Oh, you know what? Actually, I remember this set was so cool in the Lego magazine, because for those of you who don't know, you can still get a Lego magazine if you have kids or if you just lie about your age. But growing up, I had the Lego magazine, so we'd get to see all these sets. Because I was born in '94, so around the time where this came out, I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, and well, actually no, this was what, like 2006, 7, I think. I might have been older than I'm thinking, but I remember seeing this set. It was just so cool, the design and everything, and it had like a jail cell on the back. It was just super cool, and so that's gonna come in number 2. An honorable mention is gonna be Exoforce. Now, Exoforce is a great line, and it's the line I think the majority of us want to come back, because Exoforce is interesting. Exoforce came with the anime aesthetic before anime aesthetics really hit the United States. Now, of course, people can be like, well, actually, I liked anime. That's great, but anime wasn't a mainstream thing here in the United States yet when the Exoforce had come out. So we didn't really appreciate all the cool designs and the characters much, but the sets were cool, and it was great, and it was dope. But I'll be honest, this series for me, when I lived through it coming out, was I just wanted to get more of the robots, because the robots were super cool. They were super simple looking. They were menacing. They all had their own color. It was fire. It was super cool. It was super dope. And unfortunately, obviously, now growing up, look back, kick myself in the shins like, damn it, I should have asked for more Exoforce. But you're younger, you weren't thinking about it. And anime, again, wasn't a prominent thing. But now it's like, damn it, I wish they would bring it back. But it's unfortunate. So coming in at number 1 is going to be a tie, but it kind of falls into the same theme, and it's going to be Castle. I think Lego's Castle, Knight's Kingdom, these themes are great. This series in particular was so fire. If you can't tell, I'm a sucker for skeletons. I loved Lego skeletons and all this. It's thingamajigs. And this series, I think the first series that came out in this line was skeletons, and they introduced black skeletons with like maces, and it was so cool. That's not it, obviously. It was so cool and so ingenuitive, and then they started pushing forward, and they added orcs and goblins and the dwarfs and all like these. It was just so cool, and it's like it just died too. which is just so unfortunate. Like this set right here. Oh, I remember I wanted this one with the Dark Wizard. It's so cool. It was very ingenuitive. It was cool. It revived the castle theme that was like kind of dead after Knight's Kingdom, because Knight's Kingdom, as we're gonna talk about right now, kind of fell off. But yeah, it had like I think like 2 years, and then it just faded away. And it's so unfortunate because now if you want Lego castles, you have to get the big sets, right? Like the what is it? The UCS blacksmith, all the village, the barbarian village, things like that. If you want to get those, which is super unfortunate because I know especially Lego put out the castle, the Lego castle, which now people are scalping up the wazoo, but it's unfortunate that if you want Lego themed now, you have to generally spend more than $200, which is a bummer. Not everybody has that money. Not everybody has, that type of accessibility. So it's unfortunate. But coming in at number 1 is going to be Knight's Kingdom. And Knight's Kingdom, what a tale. They introduced the super great kind of Bionicle-esque, they introduced these cool like Bionicle-esque type things, and they were just great. And then on top of that, let's fast forward here a little bit. They had Lego sets that were cool, and they looked nice, and they were interesting, and it was great. Like, these sets were fire. They were fun. This one right here was so cool to me. They had spears on the little bridge. It was great. It was cool. And then just when you thought it couldn't get cooler, they went and they put out a second line, which, just to show you a comparison, this was the first wave, right? Cool looking, it's dope. And then line number 2, dude, oh my goodness, the upgrade that they gave this line 2 of Knight's Kingdom was insane. The armors were like trimmed. The enemies had decals. It was just nuts. Like, it was like there was variations in the knights. It wasn't just all black, all blue, all purple. They were building color, and it was so cool. And I'm trying to find a more vibrant set. Oh, well, apparently they had a wave 3. I didn't even know. Oh, wow. I didn't even know they had a wave 3. Did they have sets? Dude, look at that. They had a set. I didn't even know. Oh, that's crazy. I wonder what happened. There must have been some other Lego theme that 2006. Oh, well, Revenge of the Sith probably, like the line of Revenge of the Sith is probably all I was asking for. Oh, that's insane. Oh, that's insane. That's so cool. I didn't even know that. Yeah, no, Knight's Kingdom to me has to be one of the best Lego themes they ever did. And probably with like all the sets that I've named here, they're probably never going to come back. And so I hope you guys like this list, and I hope you guys like my explanations. If you guys have a top 5, you disagree with me, hey, let me know. Obviously, like I said, Star Wars, the big themes, whatever, they have hits and misses. So I don't want to include those. Like Lego City has like 100,000 sets. But yeah, these are my top 5. So just to go through it again. Number 5 is at the Adventure series of 1999 to like 2002. Dino Attack, which was I think just a 2010. Mars Attack, which I think was 2008 if I remember correctly. Alpha Team, which was I think from like 1990 or 2000, like 2004 I think. The Castle series, and then Knight's Kingdom. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully the next video will be more oriented towards, video games and gotchaing, but this is the plus living part. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you guys and see you soon. Adios.